They are the best team in the league, and nobody gives a shit. The question is still being answered. Who's going to be the team to have Canada's best chance this year? It's the Winnipeg Jets. Period. I don't even want to get into a chess conversation about the strategy. We'd mentioned the Chicago Bulls earlier in the show. Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc and Steve Kerr, they came up with a system that Phil Jackson then brought to L.A., and it's a system that I don't fully understand because I'm not that well-versed in basketball, but it's something that everyone has tried to emulate in the NBA, and you got to have the right players in order to do it. I don't know if you credit this to Rick Bowness or Scott Arniel. I think it's a combination of the two because they were there. But the way the Jets play their entry into the zone and the way they play inside of the zone and the way they play on the power play, I'll use the power play for an example. They play it's a 1-3-1. Okay, so you got one guy kind of on the point, and then you've got three guys through the middle, right along the hash or the top of the circle, where you've got three guys, and then you got one guy down low. And that's pretty standard. It's for the most part in the NHL when it comes to your power play. You kind of play a 1-3-1, and that moves around. The Jets have kind of modified it a little bit, and nobody's quite figured it out yet, which is why the Jets have one of the best goal differentials in the league this year. And it's one of the reasons why they're one of the top scoring teams in the league this year. But what they do is they take that 1-3-1 and they move it into a 1-2-2. They sneak guys down, and nobody's really noticing this. And a lot of defenses are getting caught off guard. It's going to get figured out. The question is it going to get figured out before they win the Stanley Cup? The way they enter the zone is very interesting too. Most times you will see a lot of the back passes. Guys will move up with a head full of steam. They'll drag all of the defenders back, and then you give it to the last guy while all your forwards and defense are waiting on the blue line, and then they move it in, and they've got all the momentum moving into the zone. The Jets do it a little bit differently, where they have two or three guys in motion. It's kind of like in the NCAA, just for easy parallel. In the CFL and in the NCAA, you're allowed to have guys in motion behind the line of scrimmage in football. You can't do that in the NFL. You can run sideways, but you can't run from behind the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped. You're just not allowed to do that. The Jets have kind of done a version of that when they go into moving into the offensive zone, where they have more than one guy in motion with a full head of steam, catching a lot of guys flat-footed, and that's how they're able to get behind the defenses of a lot of these teams, which has been very successful for them. When it gets figured out, I don't know. The fact that I'm even saying it is probably news to a lot of people. There's probably a lot of people that have figured that out as well. So the question is, can they keep this strategy going long enough to get them into the Stanley Cup Finals? I think the answer is yes.
You got to think, though, they miss a guy like Dustin Byfuglien, though. I know he's been gone for 5-6 years, but a guy like Buff?
Yeah. Obviously. They've been trying to fill that gap for a decade now. Well, no, not a decade, but I don't know even how long it's been. They've tried with Sherratt. They tried with Myers. They're trying with Logan Stanley right now, which I think a lot of Jets fans that agree is one of the... Oh, my God, man. He is one of the biggest liabilities on the ice. The fact that we got Luke Schenn, I think we'll see Logan Stanley's numbers diminished. I haven't checked, but I'm assuming they probably have. And, man, I love Schenn on the back end. Boy, he looks good on that blue line. Like, our Sandberg is playing great. Like, Sandberg plays a wonderful style of defense. He plays old school hockey. He gets in the way. He's just a body. He's just in the way. He's a hurdle. He's a pylon. Not in that sense, but he's like, why is this here? He's like a pothole on Ness in Winnipeg.
You know, we can sit here and chirp Logan Stanley all we want. He's making $6 million a year, and guess what? He gets more ass than a toilet seat. He's getting more ass than you and I together, Dave. So, sucks to be us.
Yeah, well, whatever. The closest he'll get to, yeah. Look,
hey, let me give you a quick little riddle for you real quick. Okay, you ready?
What do you got?
Everybody at home, put your phone down and listen. What is the difference between Mark Carney and my toilet?
Go ahead, sir.
My toilet has a seat.
Hey, if you enjoyed what you just saw, we do new clips every single day, twice a day on the Clips channel. You see clips right here. And beside Dave's crotch, we have a full-length show every single Sunday, right by my hand.
Click right here.